of what your research uncovered, or is it revealed in regions? Because I'm thinking of what we're seeing now in the southeastern part of the United States, where we both are located. And there seems to be a greater growth of those dechurched evangelicals in the southeast. Can you see that in your data or no?
Yeah, there's some pretty significant regional differences. Nobody would be surprised that the largest region of dechurching is in the Northeast, and most of that dechurching is out of mainline and Roman Catholic denominations, primarily because that's what the Northeast has historically been. We were most surprised about what we saw in the Midwest. The Midwest had a lot more dechurching than what we had anticipated. The West Coast had less than what we had anticipated, and the Southeast was about average on the whole. I do think that the shape of the dechurching in each of those regions, it does look different. The Southeast has more cultural Christians in it, by percentage relative to, the other regions of the country. This is no great surprise. You have folks like Smith that have talked about, moralistic therapeutic deism in the South, and we certainly saw those things in the Southeast.
Are you talking about Christian Smith?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead.
And then the Midwest, we were really surprised. That was kind of the one region that really was like kind of flashing red to us. We have some thoughts as to what might be going on there. Obviously, the Midwest is very different culturally than the rest of the country.
It's so much better.
Yes, as two Midwestern people, here, yes,
and that's where we lost our viewers in the Northeast, in the Southeast, in the Southwest, and all Midwestern people. Actually, I'm a part of a Facebook group. It's called Midwest versus Everybody. Yes. And I love it. It's just so funny. Some of the stuff that comes up there. No, we love our brothers around the United States that are in second place.
Yeah,
what did you notice in the Midwest? What did you notice in the Midwest?
Our hunch is that people, this is not a growing part of the country, okay? And it's been hit harder economically. Globalization has not been kind. The ways in which supply chains have shifted over the last several decades have, look, my family is from, both my parents grew up in Detroit. My grandparents were in the blue collar automotive industry. And so, we know these stories, well. So when your kind of anchor economic things have eroded, how can this not also impact some of the other institutions, that are there when the cities and the communities and the towns have emptied? It's only going to impact, to some degree or another, the pews. I think it's more complicated than just, than that particular story. But I think some of it just also depends on the kinds of denominations that you find more prevalent, in the Midwest, both on the mainline side and on the evangelical side of both of those things. I think that also, plays into some of that. But we were most surprised about what we were seeing in the Midwest.
Well, what about from a year perspective? How has church attendance among that 18 to 30 set changed since 1972? Because you actually mentioned that in the book. How much has that changed?
I have to go back and refresh myself on what we said there. That's one of the few stats that's not on the top of my head, so I'm not going to lick my finger and make it up here.